although I'm very intrigued by the thorns growing out of him, and also the apparent thorns on his you know what. Hello, and welcome to Your Loving Test Subject. This is a Yandere dating sim where you're a researcher in a facility tasked to research a subject, Alois. Although you have no memories of him, Alois claims that you are his beloved, and as you talk to him more, it becomes very apparent that he will stop at nothing to make sure you remember him again and be by his side. Let's get started. Also, because this is a horror romance game for mature audiences, please make sure to pay attention to the content warnings before we begin. Please inform us of your pronouns. She, her. Now for your names. Yinny, Winters. Of course, the country you were born in is also required. Australia? These last 4 questions may seem odd, but will determine if you are a cultural fit. Favorite flower? I like dandelion puffs. Favorite drink? Matcha latte? Favorite genre? Horror. Favorite color? Green. Excellent. Welcome to the Containing Cure Company. We're grateful to have you on board. After a far too long period of unemployment, you've been now working at a secret underground facility for some time now. You know what, I've seen enough Resident Evil to know that that is a bad idea. How you managed to land a job, you don't know, but they offered high pay, many benefits, and the promise of helping people out. Do they also call us a family too? If only you knew what that really meant before you signed up. Now you've been here for a few months, you think? It's not hard to keep track of time when you've not seen the sun since you started here. The times on all the computers are different, so you can't rely on them for the time. So far, you were just another office worker, writing up and maintaining documents from the other teams. Yesterday was supposed to be no exception. Your whole day so far had consisted of fixing typos of various files from the past week. You hadn't even taken a break yet. You're fully considering it, wanting to see if they fix the microwave, until the touch of a hand on your shoulder drew your attention away from the screen. Hey, Yinny. There you are. You turned to face a man that was now leaning on your desk, arms filled with paperwork. I've been looking for you everywhere. Must have been busy today, eh? His name is Michael. You chat sometimes. Real friendly guy. The carefree sort. Maybe a bit too much, but he's been helpful plenty of times before. Is he my superior? Do I have to be suspicious? Sort of. I've just been sitting here typing for the past few hours though. Oh, really? How did I not see you? Well, looks like you can see the rest of those digits of yours. I've got a new assignment for you. He had taken a moment to struggle with the documents in his hands and handed you a stack of them clipped together. You hadn't expected anything out of the ordinary, but surprise filled your face when you briefly read over it. I'm being assigned to a subject. Shocking, right? Here I thought we were just regular office workers. Have you also been assigned? Yeah, all of our office has, in fact. I've been going around handing everyone their files, haven't had a chance to even glance at mine yet. Why they decided just one guy should go around handing out such vital information, I don't know. But hey, this place hasn't always been the most efficient. Don't tell anyone I said that. Anyway, I'd love to keep chatting, but I'm gonna hand out the last of these files. Offer help or let him go. Would you like some help? Thanks. I can manage though. See you. You then spent the rest of your day finishing up the rest of your work and read through the rest of the file. The contents were concerning, to say the least. Upon his initial capture, Alois was resistant and aggressive, causing injuries to himself and others. During this, he proceeded to call out for his girlfriend, demanding to know where she was. The name of said girlfriend was redacted from the file. He had a few initial attempts of breaking out, and protocol to keep him in control involved the use of restraints and sedatives. Eventually, he stopped acting out, didn't even speak anymore. And that was just the behavioral aspects of the file. Physically, his body was growing parts of what was believed to be a rose. Okay, that's interesting. He had leaves growing out from the back of his knees that spread out and around in a near half-circle formation. The thorns grew from below his mouth, the lobes of his ears, of his neck, and some other places. Does he have thorns on his wiener? That'd be painful. It's stated that before capture, he had piercings in some of those areas. In the swimwear? Man. Wow. Finally, on top of his head sprouted a white rose. Other than this, however, no physical changes have been observed since his capture, and that was months ago now. It's as though the infection has stagnated. You're left wondering, why did they now want to send you, of all people, to interact with him? Maybe because you're probably someone from his past, and they think you might be the catalyst in getting him to exhibit more growths? It didn't make sense to you when you read through it. Now, it was the day you were going to meet your subject, and it still doesn't make sense. You're sitting in your shared room, waiting alongside your associates to be escorted. You've only ever been in one section of the facility, and that being U04. So it's no surprise that you'll need an escort to wherever your subject is. Thinking about that, you never thought you'd be the one to do this. To try and study a subject yourself. You wonder if things have gotten worse, that they now need to resort to using their office staff as researchers. You're not even sure how you're supposed to help. You're certain your knowledge on this infection is far more limited than actual researchers. All you know of it is what you read from fixing typos of past documents. And even then it's hard to pin down. You know who's not hard to pin down though? Me. It's called Obscurum Eye, which pretty much just means darkness infection. From what you understand, it changes people in so many different ways. Some become humanoid animals, others become materials or elements. There were even some that became more unnatural and disturbing, monstrous abominations. Not to mention the unusual abilities, breathing fire, levitation, sonic hearing, etc. The only physical guarantee is the blackening of the sclera. Everything else just seemed random. Why it does this, how it spreads, where it came from, how to cure it, what it even is, all unknown to you. You wonder if the facility is also as clueless as you. A voice behind your door brings you out of your thoughts. Employees 34, 35, 36 and 37 of U04. We're here to escort you to your assignments. The door slides open to reveal a handful of guards, with one practically halfway through the door already. You rarely see the guards around here. You figure they're usually wherever the action happens. Despite the flaws the facility can have, they haven't skimped out on defense. Right this way. Your venture through the facility is eye-opening. It takes a while to get through it all, with so many tunnels and security checks. Not to mention the further you go in, the colder and more enforced everything looks. Less posters of questionable quotes of productivity, and more warning signs and instructions. You're certain the materials in this are far more endurable. You don't know how long it takes, but you eventually arrive at an area labeled E1 interview rooms. Your subject must be waiting for you in there. The guards split you up to take you to your individual rooms. You're led through the hallway to a room near the end of the hall. Here we are. For security reasons, the room will be locked when you enter. If anything serious or unexpected happens, press the emergency button. Instructions of your assignment will be on the table. You thank the guard and prepare yourself to enter. You glance at the file in your hands one last time and feel anxious. More than anxious really. They want you to meet someone violent. Sure, the documentation says he hasn't acted that way in a while, but what if that changes when you meet him? The guard presses the card to the scanner by the door, allowing you entry. You take a step through and hear the door close promptly once you're in. Your eyes spot the subject immediately. He's sitting in a chair hunched over on a table. A pair of cuffs is clamped around his hands and they are attached by some chains to the table, keeping him there. There's a glass window in the middle of the room that splits the room into two essentially, with you on one side and him on the other. Your side of the room also has its own table and chair. Though there's some sheets of paper along with some writing utensils sitting on said table. Must be the instructions. Since this is all the room has to offer, you take a seat in the chair and read through the instructions. Miss Winters, employee 35, thank you for agreeing to assist with the study of subject P134. Your objective of each day will change and the appropriate instructions for each day will be written for you in advance. All meetings will last 1 hour, unless the situation calls otherwise. In each meeting, you are to record any observations or answers to questions subject P134 gives. The rest of the day will be spent writing and submitting your report. The following day will be your next meeting. This will be your schedule for the foreseeable future. Today, the goal of the meeting is nothing more than introductions. When speaking with subject P134, you are to address yourself as Dr. Winters. You may begin when ready. So you're just going to be observing. Seems easy enough, in theory at least. Introduce yourself as Dr. Winters. Introduce yourself with your real name. That seems more interesting. Hi. My name is... Suddenly, his head snaps up, eyes wide and meeting with yours. Yinny? Is it really you? They're not playing some trick on me, are they? His voice is croaky and quiet, likely from going unused for so long. He moves closer to the glass. As close as he can, with the cuffs being the only thing that prevents him from going further. I know that face. Those eyes that none other can compare to. It is you. Where have you been? What have they done to you? Are you alright? I've been so worried. Why do you look upon me as though I am a stranger? Sorry, do I know you? Oh, that is heartbreaking. He blinks and settles himself back into his seat. You do not remember me. Perhaps I've changed a bit too much. I'm Alois. Surely you remember now at least? Yinny. Oh, what did they do to you? My poor beloved Yinny. Hang on a second, man. As of this moment, we are technically strangers. Although I'm very intrigued by the thorns growing out of him. And also the apparent thorns on his, you know what? Beloved? Wait, the redacted name in those files. It's your name, isn't it? You're the person who's supposed to be his girlfriend. But how? Why? It doesn't make any sense. You don't even know him, right? You need to confirm it to be sure. How do you know me? You knew my name before I even had a chance to give it. They took a lot from you, I see. We knew each other quite closely, I would say. Lovers, but you really do not remember any of it. This man is a complete stranger to you, absent from any of your memories. You only know of his existence because of this meeting today. Unfortunately not. This does hurt to hear, that I have been erased from your mind. But that you are here now in front of me, alive and well. That does make me happy. I can help bring your memories back. I will bring your memories back in time. I have to ask, however, why are you here? Why now did they allow us to meet? The way he's acting, it's as though he really did know you. It doesn't feel like a lie, but can you trust him? Even if it's true that you once knew each other that closely, the file did say he was violent when brought in. What if he was violent when you knew him too? I'm not sure about their reasons, but I have been asked to study you. Study me? I do not mind if it is by you. But in what way? You decide to hold up the papers with the instructions so that he may read them. How peculiar and ominous too. Gives me more questions than answers, that is certain. So you do not know why you are here? We will figure it out. It is intended, at least. Intended? Out of everyone, they wanted you to do this. Someone with a personal connection, even if you do not remember it. It means something. We will find out that, and we will find out what together. Our time together is short, yet enough for you to ask me the many questions I suspect you have. I will answer them all. It is only fair. There's so many questions rattling your brain. Possibly too many for this first session. You're expected to write down what he says too. You just ask the most important ones for today. How long have you been here? Unfortunately, I cannot answer that very well. I do not recall how long I've been here for, only that it has felt far too long. Those instructions they gave you, have they not told you? You were hoping for a more specific answer. The file you received, while it mentioned periods of time such as days, weeks, and months, lacks any true dates. It's the same with all the past documents you've had to edit. What a peculiar decision. What do you know of your infection? Less than you, I suspect. I seem to be transforming into a rose of some kind. A white rose, to be precise. I am not yet sure of the species, too early to say, though it is possible I'm not becoming any particular species. I do not even recall when this started or where I got this from. A strange thing it all is, and I know I am far from the only one afflicted. The walls of our cells are not as thin as one would think. Are you worried? I would be lying if I said I had no nerves whatsoever. I am becoming something I should not, with no idea as to how it will end. With you here, however, I feel more at ease. Where are you from? I come from France, and the city of love, Paris. Such a lovely place France is. One must wonder why I would come to England. Well, it is a long tale. Perhaps too long for our limited time together. You came from Australia. If I recall correctly, I'm glad you made the decision to come to England, despite how things have turned out. How much do you know about me? Oh, you wish to know if my claim of our past relation is true. I understand, and will gladly tell you a bit of what I know. Yandere Winters, you're a woman that hails from Australia. Your favorite color is green. Dandelion, meanwhile, is the name of your favorite flower. I do know far more than that, of course, but I worry I would take up all of our time for this session. I would not mind it personally to speak of you for so long, but I know you do not recall the same memories that I have. I would not want to bother you with what is, to you, the feelings of a stranger, I suppose. What if it helps me remember? That is true, yes. I did say I would help you regain your memories. Alright then. There are so many things I can tell you that my mind is struggling settling on one. Next we speak, I should have my thoughts in order, and I will share with you. Have you been treated? Are you concerned about my well-being? Sadly, I cannot lie to you. I reacted poorly when I was first brought here. I did enough for them to deem me dangerous. Most of my time is spent bound up in chains in my cell. I mean, you can't exactly fault him for being upset at being captured by agents and locked in a facility. I had a straitjacket at one point. The thorns made it pointless soon enough. At the very least, I do not starve. Very plain food, but it does the job. I'm gonna be nice to him. That sounds awful. What are they thinking, keeping someone in chains? Aren't you supposed to be helping these people? Do not worry for me, Mona. Yandere. I'm not beaten, or anything of the like. I am doing much better after seeing you today. What did you do before? What did I do before? I will assume you mean employment. I worked as a barista during the week and assisted a local conservatory on the weekends. I do wonder how that place is doing. The conservatory, I mean. I would take you there sometimes. It was nice. As you're about to think of some more questions, a bang on the door behind you disrupts your thoughts. An hour's passed. Wrap it up. Annoying God. We're having a nice time and you had to come ruin it. Well, I would not want to make things worse for you by keeping you here for too long. You best be on your way. You gather both the file and the notes you have written for today and stand up from your seat. See you soon, Yinny. Give a warm farewell. You smile at him with a wave and take your leave. Oh no, what the hell is happening? The screams are what you hear first, followed by the sight of an employee clambering out of their testing room. He's trying to... He wants me dead. You can see some of the tiny pieces of glass poking from the skin on their face, the gloves on their hands. A loud banging can be heard from the locked door the employee just came through. One of the guards approaches the panicking employee. Another calls into the radio. They speak too quietly for you to catch what they say. Employee 36, you must calm down. Assistants will be here shortly. How can you just say that? How the fuck can you just say that? After that freak just broke through that window to kill me. I was even all that. Why did I say he was some childhood friend of mine? I don't remember him at all. And what kind of so-called friend would do that anyways? The trembling employee glances around at the rest of you. I'm not the only one, am I? I can tell. Your faces give it all away. A handful of guards appear in the hall surrounding the employee. Hold on. What is this? Why are there so many of you? Employee 36, you are to be quarantined. Cooperate and do not resist. But I'm not. Two of the guards grab onto their arms. That hurts. Let go of me. Let go, please. Well, rip that guy. They drag the employee away and they scream and plead all the while. The silence afterward is... Employees 34, 35 and 37. It's time to return, Sector U04. The guard acts as though nothing had just happened. You were escorted back to your dorm with the others. Along the way you notice a mixed expression upon their faces. You aren't the only one who faced a shocking revelation, it seems. You have no time to discuss your discoveries. Just yet, however, as you're expected to have a report written by the end of the day. With that in mind, you head towards the regular office you've done all your past reports in. You only just started working on your report when Michael came by with the usual grin on his face. Hey, Yinny, back I see. You got a minute? Yeah. What's on your mind? Great, I was hoping someone would want to talk. Everyone else is being all cold or quiet. One guy even yelled at me to piss off. Rude much? Can't say I blame them much. It was a real shock today. Assuming you went through what the rest of us did anyways. Never read through your file or anyone else's. There's way too many. So, who'd you meet up with? What happened? Would love to compare stories with you. Tell him everything or be vague. We'll tell him everything. This is probably going to be a mistake in future chapters, but hey, you go into great detail about your meeting, going over both the big and small. You made sure not to leave out the questions you asked and the answers you received. You also bring up the incident with that one employee, how they were dragged away to be quarantined after being attacked. Anyone ever tell you you're a great storyteller? Because if not, well, you are. Never knew you had a boyfriend. Guess you didn't know until today, huh? Like, boom, surprise boyfriend. That's gotta feel weird. Well, maybe it's nice. Only you'll know. That was your takeaway? Oh, come on. Just trying to keep things light. Not trying to ignore the last part with the quarantined employee or anything, except... I am, actually. I mean, are those glass windows not bulletproof? How'd that even happen? Guess not everyone's subjects are as chill as yours or mine. That reminds me, I haven't told you anything, have I? Neesh, how can I be so selfish? Well, a little flavoring first. When I first got my assignment, I thought it was a funny coincidence that she looked just like me. And by that, I mean she looks like my twin, but, you know, a female mate because she's a woman. Last I checked, I'm not. Anyways, guess what happened when I met her today? She started calling me her brother. And I'm like, whoa, hey lady, I'm pretty sure I have a single child, got no sisters. And then she brought up some things only someone who would know me would know. Such as the time when I broke my ma's super precious vase one time as a kid, all glittery and expensive, and I tried to sweep it under the rug. That happened, me breaking the vase. She said she was there and tattled on me. I remember getting caught anyways, but not the part where she was there. But how else would she know that? So yeah, I'm glad you shared your story with me, because it's confirmed a theory of mine. Starting to set theory anyways. Our memories are gone. Oh, not just any old memories, the ones that related us to our subjects. Now was it this facility that did that, or obscure am I? Got a feeling it's the latter, as how the hell would anyone know how to be able to selectively remove memories like that? You'd be surprised at what facilities can do. Pretty sure we lack the technology for that. Meanwhile, this infection's doing all sort of weirdo shit. Weirdo stuff. Gotta wonder why it does this though, why is it only one way? They remember us, but we don't remember them? So weird. Well, I think I might have talked your ear off enough for one day. Might try to catch you again tomorrow. You are surprisingly calm for someone who knows that they might have had like a bunch of memories removed by a disease. See ya. Bye. Michael waves at you and leaves you be. That was a lot. Honestly, this whole day felt like a lot. but at least your talk with Michael confirmed a few things. The main one being that the whole forgotten memories thing is present with everyone, not just you. So Alois was likely telling the truth about being your boyfriend. Maybe. Having a boyfriend you weren't aware of all this time, that's a whole can of worms you get to later. Your biggest concern right now is why all this is happening. After months working here, why is it only now that you've been introduced to Alois? You have a feeling that the reason why you were even employed here in the first place was due to your connection to him. Then there was the incident with that one employee. It's unnerving being in a situation like this. Nothing you can do about it though, other than just trying to follow orders. Who knows what would happen if you don't. You manage to finish your report and, after tending to some other things, head to your dorm for the night. Hungry. So very hungry. So close. You can see it, can't you? Right there. Just in front of you. Sate your hunger. Day 2. The next day, you're sitting in your dorm with your roommates waiting to be escorted. I'm wondering if I'm also transforming into something? Because why am I hungry? And hungry for what? Maybe Alois' massive but still, it's not long before the guards arrive. Employees 34, 35, and 37 of Sector U04. We're here to escort you to your assignments. Same speech as yesterday. Except for the one employee that never came back, their number is noticeably absent. The escort is the same. And soon enough, you find yourself in front of the same doors as yesterday. The security guard gives the exact same speech, word for word as he did yesterday before you enter the room. Yay! Alois, unlike yesterday, is not hunched over, but sat straight and proper, with a wide grin on his face. Still has the handcuffs attached to the table, of course, but there's something else that's caught your eye. There is a small case behind him on the table, currently closed. You have no idea what's inside it. You have returned. I'm filled with joy. Great to see you, Alois. Likewise, Yandere. You take a seat like you did yesterday, and read through the instructions that have been left for you this time. Miss Winters, Employee 35, thank you for your continued assistance with the study of Subject P134. Today, you are to instruct Subject P134 into using various tools for research purposes. Inside the case, you will find what is needed to gather blood works and live samples. Subject P134 is to follow your instructions in using these tools on himself. Subject P134 is to carefully store all samples within the case upon completion of these tests. You are to record any interesting reactions that may occur. The samples requested are 1 petal, 1 thorn, 1 leaf, and 1 vial of blood. Before you begin, we have one final note. You are walking a fine line between pleasing and displeasing us. We find this intriguing, but be warned. Do not step too far to the wrong side. Damn, they really want us to be mean to him. You must also refrain from revealing confidential information to Subject P134. So, what is the objective today? Are the notes they left you different from yesterday? They want samples today. They want samples after all this time. They've had plenty of opportunities to gather them, so why now? But of course, I will help you. The handcuffs keeping Alois attached to the table have enough slack for him to reach over and open the case. He examines the contents within. There is a needle, a small tube, a pair of pliers, and 3 of those, I forget what they're called. Small rectangular plastic bags, I suppose. He means baggies. There are 3 baggies. Oh, and the inner top of the case is a mirror. I believe I may know why. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Would you permit me to share a few stories of our past as we go? I had some time since we last spoke to think of the best ones. I would love to share them with you. That would be wonderful. I knew you would be open to it. I'm so very excited to share them with you. So the task. What is first? I hope they do not want anything too important, like my organs. I need those. Though that is a silly thought, They have not provided the means to extract anything larger. Blood. I can't do this. Yandere, are you worried? You need not be. Think of this as getting a checkup at the doctor's. A necessity. Besides, they asked for samples, did they not? What would happen if they did not get those samples? While I wish to avoid placing this stressful task upon you, I would also not risk them doing anything to you. Therefore, I will act without your input if needed. Considering I do not know exactly what it is they are asking for, I do not think that would be the best idea. So I must ask you again. What's first? Blood. We have been camping before. This was a rare occasion. Alois grabs a hold of the syringe from the case and stares at it. Seeing the stars at night is not so easy in England. He aims a needle at the upper inner elbow. But we could still see the moon, and that combined with the lake and the trees really was beautiful. He lightly pierces his skin, though when he tries to draw blood, he has a bit of trouble. Ouch, I think I missed. He withdraws the needle from his skin. Encourage. Don't worry, you can do it. Your words really help, thank you. He lines the syringe and plunges it in once more. This time he is able to retrieve the blood. You know, despite my love of flowers, I think I prefer the moon over the sun. Assuming the small tube is where the blood is supposed to go, he injects the blood into it, seals it up and places it back in the case. Both remain important, of course, but nothing wrong with having a preference. Petal. I would take you to the local conservatory sometimes. The one I said I worked during the weekends. Alois easily plucks a petal from the blooming rose atop his head. After taking a stroll through the place, admiring all the wonderful plants, we would just sit and talk for hours. We would talk about anything and everything, really. He opens one of the baggies and carefully places a petal inside. Those days were my favorites. Thorn. There was a time you took me to the hospital. Alois grabs a hold of a pair of pliers and lifts them up just below his mouth. After a fall from my motorcycle, you said I was showing signs of concussion. Facing the mirror on the case, he clamps the pliers onto one of the thorns and... Oh God! A single yank is all it took to pry the thorn from his face, though in its place is a hole pouring with blood. And I don't actually remember what happened. Are you okay? It will be fine. In just a moment, you will see. Suddenly, from the fresh wound, a new thorn emerges, replacing the wound and cutting off the blood flow. Long before I came here, I had tried to get rid of these thorns, only for them to come back in seconds, so I knew what would happen. No, now I think I should have told you this before, not after. But are you okay? That looked like it really hurt you. You were bleeding a lot. Oh yes, I am alright now. It is like pulling a splinter, I will say. Hurts only in the moment, so there is no need to worry. But thank you for asking. At least there are tissues here I can use. Alois wipes the blood from his face, then places the bloody thorn in a baggie. They never said they wanted the samples to be clean, did they? Consider it payback. Leaf. I will need to move for this, I think. He leans down, you can hear some shifting from behind the table. Oh, they grow down his back as well. You would occasionally come to the cafe I work at with that old laptop of yours to do your own thing. You told me once it was because you like a change of scenery. He straightens his back, leaf in hand. But I think it was because I would give you extra for your order. He places the retrieved leaf into one of the baggies and shuffles himself back into his usual position. This drink is still your favorite, right? And that's all of them. We did it! Hooray! Alois closes the case and pushes it slightly to the side. Should have the time to squeeze in one more tale of the past. Movie nights. We would watch a horror and then a romance and shift between the two until we had our fill. And then afterwards I get my fill of you, I assume? It felt so easy to just fall asleep. It was that relaxed. I sometimes did. You did too on occasion. We would then wake up a few hours later, sore from the position we were in. It was worth it. How could I have forgotten all this? I have wondered about that as well. How everything related to myself is gone from your mind. But so long as we can meet, I can bring those memories back. Whether you remember them or not, I will continue to share them. I feel like it is almost time for you to leave again. It is. Well, we managed to get everything they asked for, so it should be fine. If they ever did anything to you, you would tell me, right? Yes. Please keep to your word. Anything at all, from verbal to physical to whatever else. Let me know, alright? The guard soon informs you it is time to go, and you leave Alois once more. Now you're digging into the biggest salad you've had in your life. That better not be parts pulled from like other subjects. That would be horrifying. Salad must be an understatement. It's full of big juicy fruits and the leafiest of greens. Are they trying to infect me? You're not sure what made you want this today. You just know you had to have it for lunch. Oh, what the hell is going on? You fill out your report after eating. Can't work well on an empty stomach. You can't fill out... Hey, there you are. Michael has decided to speak to you again, it seems. He takes a seat at the table you're at. Whoa, I see you're really digging in there. He's not wrong. You're just sort of shoving the whole thing down in one go. Don't know what's made you want all this, but good for you. Yeah, why? What's happened? You don't mind me going on about my day while you eat, right? Rhetorical question. I won't blab at you because literally no one else will let me. But you're cool, so I know you will anyways. Anyway, today I got asked to get Clara to extract some samples from herself. You can figure out who Clara is, right? Your sister. Yeah, I knew you were listening yesterday. So for context, she's like kind of turning into stars or space or whatever. Kind of hard to say. Her hair is like a floating galaxy. It just floats around on a noggin doing galaxy things. That means getting a sample out of it was kind of tricky, but somehow we got it done. Now whoever's getting these samples has a jar of space. Sparkly kind. If it sounds weird to hear, imagine being there. How'd they even perform tests on samples like that? No idea. Looks like you're just about done eating too. Mind sharing your day with me too? Mention everything. You go into as much detail as possible around the specific samples that were requested, such as the blood works and the thorn. You mentioned how you wanted to quit early, but Alois wouldn't let you. You also remember to share the stories Alois told you. Oh, wow, I feel like I should have been more detailed now. They want a lot from him. Gotta wonder why. Oh, that Alois guy sounds real into you. especially with all those memories he shared with you. I know I teased you about him yesterday, but thinking it over, it's gotta feel weird, right? I feel weird speaking with Clara. It both doesn't feel right that she's my sister. Does that make sense? Well, I better get back to work. Thanks for letting me ramble to you again today. I bet you gotta finish your work too. It should be a lot easier after a meal like that. See ya. After Michael leaves, you get back to your duties before once again retiring for the night. You found it. Reached it. Also, you thought. Do you think you are satiated? No, that wasn't enough. Wasn't right. You hunger still. But that's okay. It will take time. You will understand soon. For now, keep going. Day 3. I wonder why we're growing so hungry. Another report complete. Another day done. As you wait again, yet to be escorted, you ponder if this is starting to feel monotonous, which is a bit of an outlandish thought considering the situation you're in. Yet you wonder if your roommates are feeling the same way you do. You haven't spoken to them, like you have with Michael, and they haven't approached you either. The memory of that one employee being taken away without returning still may be why they keep to themselves. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sounds of gunshots. Yelling and footsteps across metal grows ever louder and closer. You quickly dive under the quilt of your bed. Far from the best hiding spot in the world, but fear gets in the way of a more rational decision. From a small gap in your cover, you can see your roommates frozen in place and the door opens. One of the security guards enters, noticeably splattered with blood. Okay. You slowly climb out of your bed, wary. What the hell is am I in trouble? Employees 34, 35, and 37 of Sector U04. We are here to escort you to your assignments. Do you want to clean the blood off first? Despite saying we, no, you notice how he's the only guard here. What's going on out there? Why were there gunshots? That's blood. Blood. I don't want to go anywhere with you. You realize you can't hear any more noise. No more gunshots, no more running. The only thing you can hear now are the voices of the people in the room. The situation has been resolved. Your assignments for today have not changed, and you are to be escorted, as per usual. Protest. What happened out there? How do you know we're safe? The situation has been resolved. If you do not comply, force will be required. Your unarmed self is not stupid enough to face an armored man with a gun. So for now, you have little choice but to follow along. Your fellow co-workers don't seem to want to test their chances either and say nothing else. You were escorted by the lone guard, and while you follow him, your eyes are on the lookout for any signs of whatever just happened. You fail to see anything out of the ordinary and find yourself in front of the same room you've been led to in the past couple of days. Yinny. Alois's cheerful voice is the first thing you hear. I am always so happy to see you, though you seem to be a bit frazzled. Are you alright? Not really, but thank you for asking. Oh, Yinny, that is not good. Would you like to talk about what ails you? You know I will always listen to you. Once we're done with today's task, I'll share with you. I suppose that is acceptable. The scary thing that I'm thinking about this is that because we don't have our memories, we don't know whether Alois is genuine or not. Because could he genuinely be in love with us? Or were his memories implanted by the institute that we're working at? And this whole thing is an experiment, and we are also a test subject. I mean, it's pretty evident now that we are also a test subject, but to what extent? It's either that the memories of Alois are also artificial, and he is used to lure us into giving the institute reactions, or both of us are victims and they are studying us together. So yeah, I don't really know, to the extent, because Alois seems so warm and so loving at the moment, but at the end of the day, we don't have our memories. So logically on paper, you really aren't sure who you can trust, the institute or Alois himself. The major difference though is that Alois is significantly kinder, more personable and warmer. And whether that is because he's genuinely telling the truth or by design as part of an experiment is unnerving to me. I suppose that is acceptable. Hopefully the task at the end of the day is not too time consuming. Alongside today's instructions, you discover a sealed envelope. You read through the instructions first. Miss Winters, Employee 35, thank you for your continued assistance with the study of Subject P134. We are pleased with the completion of yesterday's task and report. For today's task, you are to show Subject P134 photographs from the envelope in order of their assigned numbers and record the reactions he has. You may begin when ready. No reprimand from the organization this time. The task for today is shorter. You did not take so long to read it, so he noticed. Show him. You let him read what is written by holding the sheet up to the glass. Photographs. How curious. An improvement over the ordeal from yesterday at least. You peel the envelope open and slide out its contents carefully. The photos are incredibly strange, and they all look like some generic stock photos but with the heads of you and Alois poorly edited onto them. The first photo depicts a happy couple walking through a park hand in hand. The next features a bride and a groom getting married. It's a bright sunny day, perhaps too bright. The third photo is turned in mood. It seems to be a scandal of sorts with Alois walking in to see you in bed with another. In the final photo, you give Alois divorce papers. It is rather somber compared to the first two photos. This is the most bizarre task you've been assigned. What is the point of any of this? Show photo 1. Here goes nothing. You hold up the first photo, the one of the couple walking in the park up to the glass. Oh, is that us? Or I suppose edited to be us. I think it is quite cute. It reminds me of how we were before, though you will not remember that. I hope this is not too embarrassing for you. Show photo 2. Time for the second photo, the one with the marriage. A wedding, how wonderful. I've always loved weddings. The ones I would see in movies anyway. Never got the chance to go to any myself. Ah, and I see they have placed your head onto the bride. This makes me wonder, if you were to be married, what would you wear? Did you think about us getting married? Oh, now that is a sudden question. Well, I will not lie. Yes, I thought about it often. I even had plans to, well, I wanted to wait until you were comfortable to bring it up. I know you cannot remember our past, but would you have said yes if I had asked back then? Yes. Wait, truly, you really would have said yes? I mean, I can't really give an entirely truthful answer because I don't remember who I am back then. You are not just saying what you think would make me happy, are you? We were together, right? I may not remember it, but I think my past self would have agreed. You would have said yes. Would have said yes? I should have. Where's with that expression? I'm sorry, I'm feeling a bit distracted suddenly. Where's with that expression? My dude. Alois, what are we doing? I've been showing you photos for today's task. Ah, yes, that is right, yes. Show photo 3. Halfway done, the nicer photos are out of the way, leaving you with the last two darker ones. The first two are being the weird cheating scenario. What is this? Is this a game to them? What do they hope to gain out of crudely editing our photos onto garbage such as this? As if you would ever do something like that. As if you would ever betray me like that. Who would have thought one photo edited like that would have him reacting like such? Maybe there's a reason for this task after all. You're right. I wouldn't. Of course not. Because you are kind and loyal. You know how terrible it would be to taint such a strong bond. Even if something like this were to happen, somehow, it would be because of them. Then they would have tricked you or lied to you or... Oh, excuse me. I may have gone a bit overboard there. I do not take kindly to these sorts of situations. You understand? Yes? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Well, it's really not my fault. I didn't do anything. Please don't kill me. It is interesting though, how his yandere tendencies are breaking through once there is a stimulus that he doesn't like. It's very interesting. It makes me lean more towards the fact that he is actually being truthful. Because emotions like that can't necessarily be faked. Show photo 4. One more photo awaits, the divorce scenario. Having seen how Alois reacted about the previous one, you wonder if he'll have a similar reaction to this one. Time to get this over with. So they have decided to show us a tall tale in the form of edited stock photos. For what purpose? Only they know. But I find it rather laughable. A happy couple suddenly split apart by cheating and divorce. How unlikely. I would never allow that to happen. You would never get the chance to cheat, and therefore never get the chance to leave. So these photos, meaningless, ridiculous, pointless. They are nothing. The people behind this are nothing. The only thing that matters is you and I. I will not let them ruin us. Please, calm down. Where is this coming from? Shit. I fell for it. Damn it, I fell for it. They wanted me to act like a fool. I do not know why, but what I do know is that... I'm sorry. This place is getting to me. Silence falls between you two for an amount of time you don't know. Alois breaks that silence first. Did you want to talk about what was bothering you now? If it is okay, of course. That's right. You'd almost forgotten about that incident from this morning. Almost. You need answers that the so-called facility refuses to give. Perhaps Alois may have those answers. Despite how he just acted, you should ask him anyway. Can I ask you something? Oh, what is it? Do not hesitate to ask me questions. You know I will answer anything. There was an incident earlier. Some kind of commotion with yelling and gunshots. What? Oh my goodness, are you alright? You were not hurt, are you? What sort of things are they putting you through? I'm fine. This was something that happened outside my dorm. I had no involvement. That is somewhat better news, but you were close enough to hear it. Yes, and they didn't tell us what happened. I thought maybe you might have known something about it, or if things like that happen often. I hate the thought of keeping anything from you. I only want to be honest with you, so I will be. Yes, I know of what you mean. Not that specific situation, just in general. Some of us infected are trying to escape, and as infection increases, so does the escape attempts. I do not think anyone has succeeded thus far. Not all that try to escape return either. I should have known better before coming to work here. Employment is how you came here. I had wondered. Oh, do not blame yourself. From our meetings, I believe you would have been brought here even if you had turned the offer away. Was that a sufficient answer? Did I help? The eyes? They just suddenly turn. Not even a few minutes ago. He was heatedly ranting about a couple of edited photographs. Now he gazes at you with puppy eyes pleading for approval. With a whiplash. Wait, his eyes. They've changed. Pale pink with a black sclera. His infection is progressing. Yinny? Is something wrong? An alarm blares out. The room fills with the flashing color of red. The doors open behind you. A security guard waiting. Employee 35, you are to be vacated immediately. Wait. Hold on. Subject P134. You are to be returned to your cell. Why was the alarm sounded? Tell him. Your eyes have changed. Oh god. Employee 35. You are to cease speaking with subject P134 and to follow me. You're forced out of the room and hear Alois call after you with desperation. What happens now? You are to complete your report for today. You will then wait for further instructions. That was wild. I'm really interested to see Alois' Yandere tendencies go. I wonder if they'll increase the more his infection progresses. You're brought back to your office with the expectation of completing another report. Despite how today's session ended, if Michael decides to show up again, it might take him a while since he got extracted early, so you allow your mind to wonder. Today's task was so strange. You really don't know what to make of it. You never met anyone who had such strong reaction to edited photos before. Yeah, because logically, he knew that they were edited, but he still reacted as such. So, either the virus is doing something, or his obsession runs significantly deeper than we initially thought, and is something completely separate from the infection. Has anyone else been given weirdly edited photos to show to the subjects? You can always ask Michael about it, see what kind of photos he had, and see if it's the same. There's no reason why this task would have been so different. After all, they've all been the same as yours so far. It's after that you've gotten quite a bit of writing done that Michael finally shows his face. Hey, buddy! He glances at your computer screen, brows shooting upwards in surprise at seeing how much you've written. Holy moly, that sure is a lot. Get done early today or something? It's a long story. Really? Well, I'm all ears. I've just been blabbing at you the past few days. Why not switch it up? Tell him everything. I mean, I have been telling you everything. You tell him about the whole day, starting from the morning incident. You go over the task you were given and decided it was so stupid you didn't finish it. You also share the information Alois gave you, and of course you mentioned the sudden infection progression. Oh shit, so that's why you've gotten so much done. The photo thing is real weird. Creepy even. Why would they want to go and do something like that? Even weirder is how you say Alois reacted to them. He knows none of that was real, right? That guy. Maybe it's just obscure I making him act like that, but that doesn't make it okay. I'm sorry you're having to deal with it all. Can't help but think. Okay, I'm gonna share this with you now. I got asked to read to Clara some extracts from a journal. Wasn't the full thing, just random bits they picked out, I think. Started off real nice, but then towards the end it got so personal. Then I realized it was a diary. She got upset and I can't blame her. When she did though, those stars of hers flared up. And guess what happened next? He leans in close to whisper to you. You've been open enough for me to trust you with this. In a few days' time, something big will happen. I need you to continue what you're doing. Then on the day the big thing happens, retreat to your dorm. We'll find you then. Okay. So I'm assuming Clara is progressing her powers and is probably likely going to break us out. Because we've been nice to Michael and have been sharing stuff with him, he's elected to give us this information. He leans back again and has a silly expression on his face. No doubt to try and cover what he just said to you. And And that's why you never read aloud the super secret diary of your sister. Or anyone, really. Anyways, better quit procrastinating. See you. Thanks for warning me. Then he leaves you to ponder what just happened. What is this big thing he's talking about? And in how many days exactly? It was so vague, it's frustrating. But it was probably on purpose. At least now you understand why Michael had taken a sudden interest in you in the past few days. Guess all you can really do is try to do as he asked and keep going as usual. Assuming he's actually got a plan in place. It's the best thing you can do right now. And assuming, of course, that you can trust him. I'm so scared because what if we can't actually trust him? What if he's a higher level employee planted in the lower, employee levels to try and find breaches? And then he reports back up to the even higher ups and then we get, Dunyan ringsed. There it is. What you've been looking for. Not ready yet. It wants to bloom fully, but it's only partly there. It has hints of love. It's not too late to change its hue. Do you want it to change? No matter your choice, soon it will be ready. And then you'll be able to truly sate your hunger. You reached the end of the demo. Thank you for playing. What an interesting premise and game. It's so interesting to me. And that was my playthrough of the first 3 days of Your Loving Test Subject. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is such an interesting premise. I did go back and test some of the meaner options as well. But yeah, there were some dialogue changes afterwards, but not any new routes or scenes or anything like that. I did also test being mean to Michael as opposed to being polite to him and sharing everything. And I was right. If you are vague with Michael, he does not tell you about the big thing that's happening on that day. So I think once more days come out, it'll be really interesting to see what happens if you do both and see if that branches the routes off or does anything of the sort. But this is definitely a very interesting game to me. I spoke about it a little bit in the middle of the game when I just had a thought. But the whole situation is very dangerous because although Alois is so personable and claims to be someone from your past, no matter how vehemently he claims and how much proof that he gives you, there is still the chance that all of this is manufactured, right? And that you can't really trust him. And the root cause of that is because you yourself do not have any memories whatsoever. So you really don't know if Alois is telling the truth or whether Alois has been implanted with fake memories to mess with you, or whether Alois has been instructed by the institution to get a reaction out of you, and in return you are the one who is actually the main test subject. However, given his reactions to the photos and his, yandere behavior that crops up whenever you mention being with someone else or not being with him, I think it leans much more to the fact that both you and Alois are technically test subjects. Maybe Obscura Eye affects people in pairs. Yeah, we really don't know what's happening. I personally am leaning more to the fact that Alois is actually telling the truth. He is very much in love with you. And whether he had these obsessive tendencies prior to being turned into what he is now, or whether they developed as part of his infection remains to be seen. But I think that is the core theory that I'm going to go with, because his yandere reactions just can't really be faked as a form of stimulus. I am very interested in finding out more about the Obscura Eye infection itself though, because I would think that it would have similar symptoms across all of the subjects, but however, it manifests in Alois as a plant, but it manifests in Clara as space and stars. And given that Alois worked at the conservatory, which is a place that houses plants, I wonder if it infects them with something that makes them manifest and turn into something that they love, or a hobby that they feel affinity with. Definitely interested to find out more. I really do like settings where there is a pandemic or almost apocalyptic feel to it, because it always gives me little reminders to Resident Evil vibes, and I absolutely adore Resident Evil. So the settings for this, because it is incredibly interesting and exciting for me. But also, another curious thing that sticks out to me personally is that I don't believe Alois is the only one that's infected. I think we are also infected by something as well. Because given in part by the screens that show up at the end of each day about us needing to satiate our hunger or anything, I'm assuming that is referring to us and not Alois. Because in day 2, we suddenly become ravenous for leaves and vegetables and want to eat a lot of those. So yeah, I'm actually worried as to what is happening in regards to us as well, because I think the institution is using us to progress Alois's infection, because it's becoming clear that emotions seem to be the thing that progresses the infection along. And I think in turn they are hoping that Alois I think they're also hoping by putting us in proximity to Alois, who is like our partner, is going to elicit the growth of the potential dormant infection inside of us. But I don't know exactly though. Too many theories for only just the demo, so there's not much information I can work off of. But I'm really excited to see the next couple of days. I thought the game was really interesting and that the developer took a lot of care and love into making this, and you can tell that the setting is incredibly unique. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens next. Thank you so much for spending time with me and for watching my video. If you guys like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And also, if you guys would like to support the developer, definitely check out this game as well. There are still a lot of dialogue variations that you can get by giving him bad responses or neutral responses. And also, if you would like to support my channel, my Patreon link is in the description box below. Supporting my Patreon is not mandatory, just very appreciated. Thank you guys so much again, and until the next fictional man, take care.